So we'll call this Delta 3D. Unfortunately, we didn't add very many things, so it's not going to have a great deal more stuff. But hopefully this should be built a lot more quicker than when we had the one person building the previous engines. So as you can see, it went through extremely fast. However, we didn't hit the 40 research that we wanted, so we're probably going to do a couple contract work. And so basically these are, they just want to add a few things to the office itself, so we'll go ahead and just pay the 90,000. Again, it's very small change to what we currently have anyway. So even though that last game was kind of bad, we still made about 2 million doing it. So we paid 175,000 in fees, so we at least broke even. If not, we made a good bit more. So let's do a little bit of contract work because we want to get 40 research points. So we're just going to do a little bit of busy work for now. Though we do get money out of it, it's not as big of a deal. Because mostly I would like to get marketing, and I'll kind of show you why I enjoy marketing. Mostly it helps with the hype and getting more sales done. That'll be more important, especially when you start publishing your own stuff. Which is what we've mostly been doing up to this point, until just recently when we started doing publishing deals. So we'll do another contract. One more contract. At the very least, these kind of contracts are also good for just gaining some money before you send everyone on vacation, or as you want to do research with other people. Alright, so we can now do marketing. And since we don't have to do another game engine on this, we don't have to necessarily worry about that. So we can still do it once it comes through without having a new game engine to do so. Alright, and let's go ahead and develop our new game. So we're going to make a new game, or a medium game. So we haven't went back to Ninja in a while, so we're going to try to do... We'll do Ninja Gaiden 2. Without being an actual sequel, we'll pretend it's a sequel to the previous one. And we'll make it action. We'll go with the play system, and then the Delta 3D, which is our new game system, and we'll see how this one goes. So since we have a new game engine, it is going to cost us a little bit more since we're using the 3D graphics version 2. So 60,000 compared to the 20,000 from before. So this one, engines are really useful. Gameplay a little bit less, and then story and quest is not a big deal. And actually, we probably want to throw someone else on that since it's a very important one. So we'll go ahead and throw my person on it. And then... in fact, let's throw someone on design on that. We'll see if we switch around a few people, if it helps a little bit in the future. So basically the N64, which on here they call the TES64, that is coming out very soon. Again, these are all basically just references to actual real gaming systems. And let's do it. Go ahead and do some marketing, because we want to make sure that people know that our game is coming out. And if people know that our game is coming out, that'll get more sales going. So we're going to just do some magazines and demos, so nothing too major. Because as it goes up, it's a little bit more expensive. Because magazines are 50,000, so it's you won't get as much hype on it. But if you also include some demos out there, you're going to get a little bit more hype. If you do a small campaign, it's maybe 500,000, get a lot more people interested. But at the same time, it's going to cut out 500,000 out of your profit margin. Or you can do a large campaign for 2 million. As you've seen with our games currently, though, we make 2 to 3 million if it's a really good game. So this may not be the best thing. We'll end up cutting quite a bit into our margin. When we do larger games later, that may be a big deal, though. So we'll just do that. So basically, media inquiries will come up every so often. They're going to ask you if you want to do an interview. If you do the interview, they're going to ask you a question as to what... We'll see what kind of question this particular one will ask. And basically, they want to know, are story and quests going to be more important with a ninja action game or gameplay? In this case, story and quests I don't think would be quite as important, so we're going to tell them that we're going to focus more on your gameplay. Because with a lot of your action games, it's going to be more about the action itself. And if we do well, like if they post that particular article out there and they say, that is definitely it. Like in this case, other industry professionals agree with my particular decision. What that's going to do is increase the hype a bit and also generate a little bit more sales for everyone. So AI, we're going to want to increase that a bit, level design a little bit less, and then dialogue down. So let's go ahead and do... In fact, he has higher design, so we'll keep him there. And then we have Derek here, which he was kind of in the middle. So let's go ahead and put him on AI. Right, so we'll probably go ahead and make... Let me just do a small booth this time. See, like this is what happens when it gets stressed. Basically, your character will go red. So we do want to make sure that we take off some of this workload on him. Because basically I gave him the 2 last time because they weren't... He had nothing else that he was doing at the time. But now he is actually doing a little bit more. So we're going to want to put someone else on graphics first. So we'll see if we put... That'll stress him out too, so we'll probably avoid that. So we'll put him there. And I could probably keep my character there. And this still looks fine. So it's not too bad. So the N64 has been released, so it'll be another system that we can go ahead and make games for if we want to. We'll see how good we did at the G3 here. 64,000. Again, usually the smaller stalls you make, the fewer people you generally will bring in. But so far we've generated about 77 hype and a decent amount of technology and design. Last time it was about 30 or 40, which is really bad, but hopefully this will be a little bit better. So we're going to let it go a little bit until the hype starts dropping. Go ahead and kick this one out the door. A couple people leveled up, and leveling up will usually make it a little bit better for future games, so that'll be good as well. But in them being better, it's also going to cost us more to pay them as well. So you went up to 26, 32, 28, 29. So it's going to be a little more expensive to keep these people on our staff. A couple more things opened up in research. So we're going to try to get as much research done as we can. He'll generate the report. He will research. See, a lot of these are getting more expensive as far as research points go. So we'll probably get one of these 40s. So let's go ahead and do... In fact, we could do two. We do sequels and then game tutorials, since it'll be 35. So unfortunately, our games aren't doing very good so far. So we're going to definitely want to improve something here. We're still gaining a little bit of fans, but it's not very many. Alright, so let's go ahead and do one more publishing deal before we have to send people on vacation. So in this case, we have to make a life game, which we have not researched life. We'll see if that's even available to us. Yep, so life games. We may just stick with that one because it is a very low rating we have to get. So I don't feel there's going to be a lot of life games that are going to be... So we'll see. That are going to be all that good as far as like the genre. And the market's also going to be really good with new topics for now as well. In fact, we'll probably do a little bit more contract work just to get some extra research. Because a lot of them are starting to get tired. So we're probably just going to do a little bit of this to get a few things done in the meantime. Because ideally the goal is to get enough research points, that way we can have my person actually do some research when they're all on vacation. Alright, so we will go ahead and send everyone on vacation.